morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout-out goes to Newbie Linux. Newbie Linux was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus was this shout-out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, with a really neat drone for a review today. This is the EXO Mini Pro. Now, who is EXO? EXO is a company here in the United States that has partnered with Hubsan to rebrand and market Hubsan drones under the EXO brand here in the United States. Now, why would you want to do that? Why would anybody want to do that? Customer service, folks. How many of you out there have bought a drone directly from China, have it arrive down on arrival, and then try to get that problem corrected? It can be a nightmare. Okay, so that's the idea, folks, especially for a higher end drone. You want to have some means of good customer service where you can, if you do have a problem, you don't have to send it back to China on your own dime, in other words. Okay, so that's where this really comes in play. I think some of you folks can see that, okay, say, yeah, that does make sense. Okay, but let's talk about this particular drone here. This is the EXO Mini Pro. Now, what is the Mini Pro? It is a small little folding drone, very capable little folding drone though, folks. Let's open it up here. It's based on the Hubsan Mini Pro, as some of you know it is already out there, and actually it has all the features of the Hubsan Mini Pro. But let's go over it in detail here. First off, it weighs 249 grams without this screen on the bottom. This is a little protection screen that easily pops off and on. You remove it, it's 249 grams. Put it on though, I recommend flying with it on. It does add 4 grams, which pushes this up to 254 grams with the screen. So technically, if you fly with this screen, you should have this registered with the FAA. But in most cases, I think they'll look the other way, I'm hoping. But anyways, this screen protects a lot of the sensors on the belly. There are some interesting sensors, and I will go into detail on these when we get into it here in a little bit. But again, it's a folding drone, mainly for portability. Provides great portability along with its carrying case. And before we go a little too far, let me talk about this carrying case. This carrying case fits everything you see here on the table and fits it very well. I was surprised at all that actually fits in here. So the carrying case for this is great. It carries the drone and all of its accessories, so you will be able to bring that stuff with you on vacation if you wish, in this particular drone. It is brushless motor drone, of course. At this price range, it better be brushless motor, and that's to improve durability of the motors in flight. It's powered by a 2S 3000 milliampere hour battery. Let me show you that here. This is the battery. It is a smart battery, so if you fully charge it, I think it discharges down to half charge. And the idea being to improve durability of the LiPo battery, longevity of the LiPo battery, in other words. But with this 8.4 volt 3000 milliampere hour 2S battery, you're supposed to get 35 minutes of flight time. In reality though, I did a flight with this already, you're going to get around 25 minutes of flight time, and the reason being is there are a lot of electronics in this particular drone. Without those electronics, maybe you would get 35 minutes, but with all these electronics, there's a lot of heat being dissipated by this drone. That cuts off about 10 minutes of flight time in reality, so you're going to get, again, about 25 minutes of flight time. At least that's what I got when I flew this. It does have GPS GLONASS, of course, for rapid and accurate satellite lock-on. That also provides you the capability of return to home on loss of signal, on low voltage, and also on command. Okay, you press a button, and this drone will automatically return wherever it took off from and land itself at that exact spot it took off from. So that's pretty cool too. It has also a look-down capability, and I tried to demonstrate that when I took this out for a flight, and you'll see that where it not only uses the GPS, but if you turn on the look-down capability, it'll look for your landing pad and try to center itself on the landing pad before landing. I've had some success, and I've had some not so good success with this particular system, but it does work until the very last second for some reason. My drones always seem to skew off the pad at that very last second before landing. Okay, other things about it. Okay, let's take off this belly screen. So I want to talk about some of the sensors that are available on this particular drone. Okay, on the belly, we have an optical flow sensor. Okay, this comes into play to stabilize the drone, especially when it's near the ground. It provides a very stable hover when near the ground, in combination with that GPS. You'll see when we take it out to flight, this is pretty rock solid in its ability to maintain hover when close to the ground, and that's because of that optical flow system. It also has a nice spotlight on the belly. If you want to do night flying, this will come on automatically and light up the ground directly beneath the drone. Also, it has two IR sensors. Now, these IR sensors come into play for altitude hold capability and also for obstacle avoidance capability. I believe these are meant to prevent you from meeting the ground. Say that you're flying into a hill. Hopefully, these will detect the hill coming up to meet the drone and stop the drone from impacting before impacting the ground, along with the obstacle avoidance sensors in the front of the drone. And I want to talk about obstacle avoidance right now. This drone is available in 4 different modes, and you've got the EXO Mini, which doesn't have any obstacle avoidance and has an inferior image sensor. I don't recommend the Mini, actually, folks. But also, the other available drones out there is the EXO Mini Pro, which this is. And the EXO Mini Pro is available in several versions. Okay, this particular version does not have obstacle avoidance, but you can order optional obstacle avoidance, and that would put obstacle avoidance sensors on the front and on the back. See, mine don't have any obstacle avoidance sensors. If you look up closely, these are just fake panels. But for $80 more, you get obstacle avoidance, and I would recommend that. What I've seen others that have flown this already, these sensors are very accurate, very somewhat dependable. So I would recommend getting one with obstacle avoidance if you can. And that adds, again, $80 to the price of the drone. This also is available and comes with a 3-axis gimbal, as does the Mini, the cheaper Mini. That provides stabilization of the video, both in pitch, in yaw, and also in roll. Okay, it will keep the sensor or the camera level, as the wind bounces this drone around. That's the idea of that 3-axis gimbal. Now, it also has a 4K camera. Now, the Mini, the EXO Mini, not the Mini Pro, the Mini version, that has a 12 megapixel camera. It's nowhere near the capability of the EXO Mini Pro, which has a 48 megapixel CMOS camera. It's a much better camera with high dynamic range capability on the Mini Pro version. So I recommend, again, the Mini Pro just for that also. Okay, getting this better equipped camera, a much better sensor on the camera. And with the Mini Pro, you get 4K video, 2.7K video if you wish, and along with 1080p video if you wish on the Mini Pro. On the Mini version, it's only 4K. That's only available in 4Ks, but you get those. Additionally, the Mini Pro has built-in memory capability, okay, recording capability on board here. You do not need to insert a TF card or an micro SD card. In fact, this one here tells you don't do that. You don't need to do that because it has built-in capability of recording. And how do you download that video? Well, through this little micro USB port right there. You connect it to your computer and you can turn on the drone and you can download the video directly from the built-in memory. Now, this is available with 2 versions of memory for the Mini Pro, and that's either in 64 megabytes or 64 gigabytes and 128 gigabytes. You can order that one too, and I believe that's another $70 if you want the 178 gigabyte version. Now that one, I'm not so sure that you really need 128 gigabytes. 64 gigabytes for most folks is more than enough memory to record even a 4K. So again, if you go out and you're a professional and you're taking many videos and you're going to be out for days and days, then yeah, maybe the 128 gigabyte version. But if you're, the average person, average flyer, 64 gigabytes should be more than enough for you. So, okay. Now, let's talk about other things. Okay, I talked about the sensors, talked about the memory. Let's talk about the controller. This is its controller, folks. Now, this is a special controller. If you notice, there are wires running up inside both of these antennas. These are real antennas, folks. Okay? In fact, you really want to pay attention to the orientation of these antennas. Make sure the flat side of these antennas are pointed toward the drone for maximum reception. Never point tips of an antenna at the drone. That will give you the absolute worst reception. So keep that in mind. Flat antenna or flat sides of the antenna pointed toward the drone. Now, with these antennas, you're supposed to get 5 miles control range along with 5 miles FPV range with this controller. And how does it do that? This has a built-in relay system. Now, how does it do the relay? This does not use Wi-Fi like most other drones do. This uses these on-the-go cables to connect your phone to the controller, and then the controller will receive signals from the drone, amplify it, and send it to your phone through that cable. In the same way, any command signals that you got to send out to the drone, it will take them from your phone, amplify those signals, and send them out over that antenna. And that is how you get the 5 mile range. Now, let's talk about 5 mile range. In the US, and actually in most countries, it's not legal to go flying out 5 miles. You know, the drone is not going to be in sight. There are some safety issues when flying 5 miles. But that doesn't mean that you should, that this drone is illegal in your country. No. But what it does mean, though, is this should provide very strong signal, especially FPV signal, to your phone so that you'd be able to see, what this drone is seeing in a cluttered environment, in an environment with, say there's lots of buildings around or lots of trees that would normally block the signal. The signal should be strong enough to penetrate through buildings and trees, so you should be able to see this at reasonable ranges of the drone, no matter what, no matter what you're flying behind or what type of interference, because of that amplification and these antennas. So that's the advantage of having that 5 mile range. Not to fly out 5 miles. You do that and put up a video on YouTube, FAA is going to be knocking on your door, folks. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, again, 5 miles, or the increased power of this, is good in a cluttered environment to provide a stable video signal to your phone and control signal back to the drone. So that's the idea of that improved reception and transmission power of this controller. Now, let's talk about other things on the controller, the buttons on it. We do have a scroll wheel on the top of the controller. This is for raising and lowering the gimbal. We do have a button here for taking a photo, a button here for starting and stopping video, and a function button. You press this function button down and then move this scroll wheel, and your camera will optically zoom in or out. Okay, so this does have optical zoom capability. Now, to use that optical zoom, I recommend being in 4K. Okay, have your camera set to 4K mode, because if you go down to lower resolution like 1080p, you're probably going to get some pixelation when you zoom in. But if you got a high resolution image to start with, when you zoom in, that should still look pretty good, even though it's optical zoom. Now, other things about it, I talked about those buttons. We have automatic return to home and landing capability by pressing this button here. We have a power button, which is right here, which turns the drone on, or the controller on or off. And actually, let me turn it on because I want to show you some of the things available on this. Let me start the drone first by a quick press and a long press until I hear ESCs chirping. And are they chirping? Maybe I got a low battery in here. 1, 2, there we go. It's charging up. And then I'm turning this on because I want to show you the LCD screen on this controller. I got to do the same thing. Low, a short press and then a long press, and then it should come up. Let me see if I can focus the screen so that you can see it. And it's still binding to the drone. There we go. So you can see the drone does, or this screen has a lot of telemetry information. Compare this to something like some other comparable drones in this price range class. A lot of them don't have this LCD screen. This really does come in handy, folks. It tells you, some of the information is like the satellite reception, the reception of the drone to receiving the controller, the reception of the controller receiving the drone signal, the direction that the drone is pointing. Right now it's 94 degrees, compass position, distance, height of the drone, speed of the drone, whether you're recording or not, video recording. There's all kinds of information that's good to know that's available via this LCD screen. So I like that in this controller also. So let me turn that off and also turn off this drone and save battery power on both of those. Okay, so that is the controller and its abilities. Let's talk one more thing before we go out. This drone, I just brushed on the camera. This is a very capable camera, folks, okay? And with the app, which is the Blackhawk 2 app, it provides a lot of capability, recording capability on this. Particularly for photo control, you have auto, manual, ISO, shutter speed. You can take single, continuous photos, timed photos, panoramic photos, although they're not stitched. You're going to have to stitch them manually. You have control over the white balance, control over styles. You have saturation control of this camera, contrast, sharpness, and there's night mode and even a grid mode for this particular drone through the app. Additionally, the app provides a lot of advanced flight mode features like circle me, follow me, waypoints, the usuals like that, plus several others, and I'll try to demonstrate them when we take it out into the field, those advanced flight modes. Let's go over what you get in the box before we go out in the field. You get the instruction manuals, you get a quick start guide, you get a bunch of stickers from EXO, you get the drone, you get the cover for the gimbal, protective cover for the gimbal. You can get 1, 2, or 3 spare batteries. These cost about another $100, folks, so if you want another battery, you want to buy it probably at the time of purchase, but it's going to cost you $100. You get 3 on-the-go cables for your phone, depending on what type of phone you got. This one here is micro USB. This one here is, I'm sorry. This one is for iPhone. This one is for micro USB, both of them. And this one has Type-C, for Type-C connector phones. And you can use that again with Android and iPhone because of that. You get a battery charger. And how do you charge the battery? Through this thing. This enables you to charge up to 4 batteries simultaneously, along with 3 types of power inputs, either through USB. Actually, I think this one might be power output, but that's a power input, and so is that a power input. So I recommend using what they provide you to charge this, which is they give you this charger, and this is it 2 amp or 3 amp? Hold on. Okay, I had to go outside in the sunlight so my old eyes could read this, but this is a 3 amp wall charger. So this should be more than sufficient to provide charging power for those batteries through this multi-port charger from EXO. So that's the charger and its charging cable. Additionally, you get a full spare set of propellers. Actually, you get 2 full spare sets of propellers, along with a screwdriver to change those propellers. You get the controller, and you get its carrying case. So that's what comes in the package. Pretty neat setup. I'm kind of excited to try it. So let's take it out in the field, folks, and see how it flies. So hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to a beautiful day here at Pleasant Ridge Park for the test flight of the EXO Mini Pro. Okay, to start this up, put the drone on a pad here. I'm going to turn the controller on first. Quick press and then a long press to start it, along with the drone. Quick press, then a long press until you hear the ESCs chirping. And next thing, we are going to go into the EXO app as soon as this connects. So hold on, folks. Let's see how long it takes for this to connect. Up here it's going to switch to attitude as soon as it connects to the drone. And there we go. You see ATTI. That means we're connected. We already have 7 satellites. Now I need to go into the app here to do this compass calibration. So hold on while I connect to the app. Okay, this is the Blackhawk app. And notice that FPV is turned off. They do a lot of things to save power on this drone because of overheating. Okay, so there's a lot of things that are shut off at startup. But right now, the one thing I want to check is, okay, hit understood there. And right now it is not asking to do a compass calibration. So I am going to try to get it to activate like so. And why is it my phone? Notice that my phone, you know, the controller buttons on my phone bump against the top of this thing and act up, as you can see here. And there we go again. So, you know, EXO and whoever designed this, try to make it so that these controllers on top don't bump into buttons like it does there. Yeah, the controller buttons. Okay, now, again, I'm going back into the settings here in the upper right corner, hitting settings. And I want to go into compass and start the calibration since it didn't automatically come on that time. So right now it's asking me to do horizontal rotation. The way I'm going to do that, folks, is hold it horizontally and just do a carousel turn like that until it switches. Now I'm going to go vertical and do the same. You can do that, you know, either spin this in your hand or you can spin your body. Either one of these works for compass calibration until it says it's done. Calibration succeeded, as it says there. Okay, so I'm putting it back on the pad and we're considering getting ready for takeoff. We have 12 satellites. It says it's preparing to take off. It says weak GPS signal with 12. There we go, ready to fly now with 12 GPS satellites. So let's get it into the air first off. Okay, before we get into the air, one more thing I want to check in the settings is I want to make sure that search for landing pad is activated because I'm going to use that since I got a landing pad just for that purpose. Okay, so we're going to hit auto takeoff, which is that button on the left in the app. I'm going to say takeoff, okay. Since we have sufficient satellites, 12, we're in the air, and there's our FPV. Okay, let me start the video recording app first off. Let's see if it actually started. I pressed that button, so I got to hold it down. There, so you got to hold it down for 2 seconds to get it to start. And let me get into the picture and say, how do you like my shirt today, folks? Well, I'll tell you, that thing is very stable, okay? It's sitting there nicely. It's bouncing around a bit. But first off, let's take it up in the air and set it out back. I'm going to get my glasses on so I can see this thing. And we're going to do a nice slow up and away. First off, let's go straight up and see if we see Lake Erie. We'll take it up to about, oh, I don't know, 20, 30 meters. 30 meters up. Or 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 meters up. And there's Lake Erie off in the distance. I can see it. So pushing forward and toward Lake Erie. And I'm going to try to make it over to the road. We're near the road right now. Let me move the gimbal downward, see if we are near the road. Moving, okay, there's the road. So push it forward again. And toward that road. Keeping the gimbal on the road. So we're close to the road right there. And how many meters is that away? 122 meters. Okay, so turning toward my position. Turning the drone. Turning, turning, turning. That's not me. What is that? Maybe that is me. Okay, turning it back toward me. I guess that was me. Okay. Right about there. Now, I'm holding down the function button and then using the scroll wheel to zoom. Okay, let me turn it to the right and raise the gimbal up a bit. And again, I'm looking for me. I'm hard to see. Oh, there I am. Little dot way off in the distance there. It's hard to see on my phone. Holding the function button down again and zooming in. Increasing the zoom. And that, I guess, is maximum zoom at 2.5x. So, can you see me, folks? I'm trying to wave. Okay. Now hitting that function button again and zooming out back to 0. So I wanted to try the zoom first. And back to 1.7, 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 2, 1, 0. So 0. Okay, from that position there, let's try its return to home. So pressing return to home button. And seeing if it actually returns to home. In-flight GPS, maybe I gotta hold that button down. Yeah, I hold it down for 2 seconds and then it does the return to home. And it beeps. Now, you can let it beep, or you could hit the function button to turn off that beep, supposedly, according to the instructions. Let's see if that's true. Yeah, it's true. Oh no! Maybe I gotta hold it down for 2 seconds. Maybe I misread the instructions. Oh, there we go. It shut it off. So you gotta hold it down for 2 seconds. Here comes our drone, by the way. It's overhead, coming, descending, descending, descending. And is it going to use that camera angle thing? Well, it's looking down for it. It's looking downward. Ooh, zooming in on it. Let's see if it can do it. Can it do that automatic search for a pad and land on that pad? You know, I've used this landing pad many times, but there's a reason for those insignias on the pad, and it's close. Close, but no cigar. So we are going to turn that feature off in the app. Understood. I stopped the video recording because we're back. But in the app, we're going to turn off that look for pad. It's not really search for pad. Turn that off. It just didn't work. Now, another thing we're going to do while we're here, is I want to go into the camera settings. I got to come out of this and then go in those 3 squiggly lines right there, and I want to go into video settings, and we are at 4K right now. I want to select, we're going to go, the reason I was in 4K was to demonstrate that zoom if it actually works, but I want to be in 1080p because I have a hard time editing 4K video on my computer. Okay, I'm trying to select lower resolution on the app. About 2.7K, will you let me? It's not letting me for some reason while we're back here, so I guess I'm going to have to record 4.7, or yeah, 4K the whole flight, because it's not letting me, the app, it's not letting me switch to lower resolution. So with that in mind, let's just go 4K, okay? Now, next thing, we're ready to take off. We should be ready to take off. Can I start it with the motors going down and out? No. Down and in? No. So I guess we got to start it with the automatic takeoff. Yeah, takeoff. The reason I don't want it to be sitting too long on the ground because it doesn't have a fan, a built-in fan for cooling. Okay, I'm going to start recording again. Yeah, I should be recording. You know, with that in mind, it doesn't have a built-in fan for cooling, so to keep it cool, you got to fly it. So let's try those other features out on this thing, like advanced features. Okay, let me push this down, the gimbal downward, so I can see me down on the ground. And there I am. And the first thing we're going to try is clicking in the upper left corner there. We're going to try following mode. I'm going to start with follow mode. And we're going to try active track first. Okay, and I got to draw a block, select the target, keep the target 5 to 15 meters, that's right, understood. And trace, there's the target, me. And then I'm going to hit go. And see if it actually goes into following me. Okay, walking over here. Well, it does. You know, this This comes in handy like where I am right now out on the soccer field. We're in an open field. This should work real well. And it is. Active track using image sensor. You can track just about anything that moves with this, as long as you got good contrast like I got right here in this open field. But active track is working. How about if I walk toward it? I like to challenge these things. How about, can I reduce the altitude on the drone? Yeah. Can I raise it up a bit? No, that's about it. So that's active track. Now let's come out of active track first. Hitting that button again, or pause. I want to stop it. Oh, the upper left corner. There it is. Stop. Let's try active track again, or follow me again. Let's come down a little lower this time. Right there. And the reason being for this one, we can do GPS tracking. Since we're lower. Okay, following mode. And that would be follow me is GPS tracking. It's following the GPS on your phone. Altitude 2 meter, we got to go up higher. 5 meter, I guess, is the minimum. And let's hit follow modes. Return immediately. Does that mean? Okay, I guess we're activated. Following, I'm gonna hit hide. Okay, there we go. And it's following me. Trying to follow me. Oh, is it doing a circle position? No, it's following the GPS. Now, GPS tracking is less accurate than active tracking because there's error between where the GPS on your phone says you are and where the drone thinks you are, so you won't generally be in the center of the picture when you're using this type of tracking, GPS tracking. Follow me, standard follow me. But it's working. Okay, let's come out and hit stop. Okay, bringing the drone closer and hitting the upper left corner, that squiggly lines. This brings open the different advanced modes we got. We have hyperlapse. Let's try that. Do stop recording before operating this function. No, hyperlapse I think is used with the still photos. But let's try waypoint mode while we're here. Waypoint mission planning. Where are we on the map? First off, where are we on the map? We zoom out. Zoom out. There we are. I don't know why it moved way over there. But there's our home point. Okay, let's pick some points of interest on this map. We'll pick POI, not points of interest, draw. And then we're going to pick the second one there. Okay, second one's picked. And we're going to go first to the center of this baseball diamond. Then we'll go to this baseball diamond. Then we'll go to this baseball diamond. Then we'll come back home. And try to come back near us. Near us there. Okay, 4 waypoints. Find position. Okay, we should be good. So, hitting submit. Sent successfully. And it's done. And that should activate it, I believe. Trying to hit done. Oh, we got to be up above 5 meters. Okay, with that in mind, let's go up higher. That looks good enough. And with that in mind, let's hit done. And the aircraft's about to went me up. And hitting. And we are recording, just making sure as we go off to waypoint 1. Okay, while we're doing these waypoint routes, I'm going to try messing around with the other features on this drone. We go to waypoint 1. And what's it do at waypoint 1? Let's raise up the gimbal. Looking up, pointing itself toward waypoint 2, and flying away to waypoint 2. Can I rotate while we're up there? No. note, you can't adjust the view while it's flying through the waypoints. So keep that in mind, folks. By the way, I have the waypoint altitude set in the menus to 30 meters. The reason being I'm trying to avoid hitting any trees, just in case this does go off in some weird direction. Hopefully it won't hit any trees. Going to waypoint 3, which was in the center of that diamond. And soon it will be coming, here I'm going to lower it a bit. Soon it should be coming back toward me. And fly over me, near me. Let me go back. There I am, down there. And here comes the drone. And let's bring it down. Waypoint mission complete. So let's bring it down toward us. Pushing forward, coming down. Reducing throttle. So that's waypoint mode. We also got point of interest mode. Let's try that. Going back in the upper left corner. And waypoint mode. No, let's see. Waypoint mission planning. Where's that point of interest? Let's try that. First off, let's delete all these waypoints we got here. Delete them. Delete. Okay. And try a point of interest flight. Let's fly over again, back to there. Okay, point of interest, selecting point of interest, clicking on it, and selecting over by there, and then hitting done. Done. Oh, no submit. Please upload the waypoints first. Okay. Oh, okay. This will go around the point of interest. So let's see if I can point. I can't figure that one out. Point of interest flight. I'm going to have to go back and go through the menus on what that means. But we're going to hit coming out of this again, and let's try something different. Let's come down here closer to us and pushing forward. Okay. First, come out of the maps mode. There I am again. It's link it up, sync it up, and we're gonna up in the upper left corner there, the cross insignia. We click on that, and we select orbit mode. And the transmitter is the point of interest, and right where you can set the aircraft's current position is the point of interest. But we're gonna use the transmitter. Hit next. And radius is going to be 21 meters. I got enough radius. Altitude 5 meters. That's good. And return immediately. It'll be selected. And I hit exit. Let's try it again. Sorry about that. Hitting the button again. Orbit mode. Hitting next. Turn immediately. And then hitting hide. So there we go. Now I'm trying to turn it so it looks at me. It was off position there. But there is orbit mode. It's kind of slow. Let's see if we can increase the speed by moving the right stick. I'm pushing on the right stick to the right, and that increases the speed of rotation. Let me raise the gimbal too while we're at it, so you can see that it's not looking at me. Let's go. Let's see. You can rotate it. You can rotate the drone while it's doing this circle position, which is, I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. Right now I'm looking away from my position as it's rotating toward the right, to the center. Okay, there we are, in the center for circle position. So you can adjust the view of the drone as it's doing this circle. You can even turn it outbound. Let's hit stop and try one of the other features now. Okay. Cross again, the falling mode, create a video, line fly mode, that's the one I was looking for. And angle, distance, preview flight route. I'm going to go over there. Okay, it's going to go off in that direction, and then hit return immediately. Altitude 8 meters, we got to go up. Should be good there at 10 meters, and then return immediately. And line fly has started. Now the thing about line fly, supposedly you can rotate as you're going outbound. Okay, let's do that line fly again. Okay, line fly mode. And I have distance of 10 meters. Let's increase that distance. No, not that much meters, not even that much. Whoa, 160 meters, maybe that'll work. That height, review flight route, yeah, that'll work. And return immediately, and line fly is starting, heading over that direction. Now we can look around while we're going out on line fly, like this. It flies very slowly, but I'm trying to do cinematic photography, and boy is it bright today. I should probably turn off that auto. It's an auto function right now. But there I am, since I had an iPod, along that route. So you can rotate as it's flying outbound. We're going by the field on its little journey over there. So all the features seem to be working on this particular drone. And we still got good battery power, 46%. Heading over there. That's line fly. Okay, can I hit return to home and to break out of that? Automatic return. We're going to do an automatic return from there. Let it come back, and then we'll try some of the other features of this drone. Namely, I want to go see how it flies. Fast forward, obstacle avoidance, we haven't tried that. Some other features. Let's try them all. We got time, we got 40 minutes. And those of you who are on my channel know that I fly the drone from start to stop to show you the good points and the bad points that I might encounter during its flight. I don't edit the videos down. You get a non-stop flight, which is concerning me because if this drone can actually fly as long as they say, you know, in 35, 40 minutes, maybe my hat camera might run out of time. And if it does, folks, I'll do post-editing right here. I'm going to stop the landing here. It is pretty good, pretty close, by hitting the stop pause button. And I am going to do a quick sync up of the videos because I haven't really done that yet. I should do it. So my voice is in sync with the video. Okay, we're good there. What's that say? Battery. Oh, battery's getting low. Okay, well, let's keep that in mind. Battery's getting low. That means we'll probably have to fly close. Okay, I'm going to have to stop the video recording right there. I'm trying to stop the video recording. There we go. And restarting. The reason I do that is so I don't lose all of my, you know, in case there's an accident or I forget to stop the video recording for a follow-on, I don't lose all the videos. Okay. So far what I'm seeing, folks, is this is a pretty good drone. Actually a very good drone. It's got 3-axis gimbal, a lot of cool features, available in the US, okay? So you don't have to deal with that shipping problems in case you get a broken one. You know, you can deal with the company here in the US is the idea behind EXO drones, I'm pretty sure. So, okay, it says 37%. What other things could we try here? Oh yeah, obstacle avoidance, coming down a little lower. Can it sense me? Well, it's not sensing me. And I don't know how to turn it on or off in the menu here, folks. I looked for obstacle avoidance. It supposedly has it, but I'm not seeing it. Okay. I don't know how to turn that off. You know, going in the menu here. You know, and it doesn't say so in the directions either on how to turn it on or off. I looked through the directions and I didn't see it. I'm pretty sure that you got to turn it on though. You know, it's one of those battery saving features. But again, I'm looking through your compass, gyro, IMU, return to home, search for landing pad, auxiliary light. I'm just not seeing it in the menus. In this second menu here, transmitter model, joystick setting, remote control, function, GPS takeoff, no. Third one down, this FPV low maintenance mode. Gimbal pitch speed, pitch smooth. We're just going through the different menu available, items available. Advanced settings, even advanced settings, allow upper gimbal, advanced gimbal with calibration, PID parameter settings, and finally we got aircraft location is always shown at the center of the map. Yeah, actually I want that on. Latitude and longitude coordinates, map select type Google Maps, map display types, and sampling precision of waypoint drawing. So none of them. Okay, I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't know how to turn on that. Turn on the obstacle avoidance with this particular drone. The battery is only 30%. Okay, while we're doing that, let's go to higher rate while we still got availability of features. And the rate button is this FNS button. So, okay. I'm pressing it, but I'm not sure. Maybe I got to hold it down. Switch to film mode, normal mode. Okay, now this is normal mode. This is intermediate, in other words. Let's see what it flies like in intermediate. Bit faster, quite a bit faster. Smooth flyer though. Wow. Even in normal mode here. Yeah, very smooth flyer. Nice and smooth. Not bad. Not a bad little drone. Actually kind of nice. Okay, let's go to the higher rate. Now we're in expert mode. We got to be higher than 5 meters. Okay, we are, how many meters? 5.1 meters. So expert mode. Fast. Much faster. Yeah, it moves. It can move. Now, flying in expert mode is probably going to wear, you know, my battery's going to probably go kaput here soon because I'm flying in expert mode. Ooh, there's a turkey vulture there. I ain't going to go chasing him. You know, when I was flying back in the desert, how I'd always fly after the ravens, I'd hear it's turkey vultures. There's also bald eagles out here. You don't want to mess with those guys. Okay, coming out of that mode, we're going back to beginner mode, or film mode they call it, and bringing the drone in back toward my position. So that was its high rate, sport mode. Nice flying little drone with a ton of features. So, okay, I'm getting an alert again. The aircraft will automatically return. Okay, let's see it do it. We'll go over there, and I want to see it return. I'm walking over by the, oh, there we go, all by itself. So there goes the EXO mini drone. It's going to climb up to 30 meters before heading back to the pad. There it goes, up, up, up and away at 30 meters, and then it's going to come back down again. So, what have we learned, Dorothy? I mean, it actually, you know, the features actually work on this. Pretty cool little drone. Amazing that they can stuff in that much features. Now, there's some things I'm going to stress it at the end here. I'm going to stress it during my tabletop review. Some things that you want to think about with this particular drone after it lands. It lands really nice every time. Let's turn off that video. There, video stopped. And I want to stop those motors. Down and out, stop them. Okay, things about it, the main thing about it that you need to keep in mind here, folks, is they kept it under 250 grams, but in doing such, they removed a couple things, you know, like the SD card recording capability. They did put in onboard memory, so that's not really an issue. But one thing that might be an issue is you know, keep it under 250 grams. With all of these electronic features in here, obstacle avoidance, or which I didn't get working, by the way, you know, the optical flow, GPS, everything that's in this, built into this thing, creates heat. Okay, that's extra CPU power is required, which creates heat. This doesn't have a built-in fan to keep it cool, so you know, you don't want to let this sit too long on the ground without flying. Okay, flying is what, you know, gets the airflow going through this to keep it cool. So, you know, you want to try to get into the air as soon as possible, because they couldn't include a fan and at the same time keep this under 250 grams. That's the idea. Okay, so that's the EXO Mini Pro, again from EXO, which I guess they partnered with Hudson to do this. Pretty cool drone. I like it. So it's Quadcopter 101, signing out. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.